Hi everybody, I don't know whether you've seen it, but Volkswagen have released a press release regarding the new T7. So this is the new version of what's behind me. So this is the current model, the 6.1. This vehicle is still being produced at the moment. You can't actually order one in the van or commercial ones. It's just whatever is actually coming through from the factory that's there, and that's running out all the way through till May, I think is when the factory stops with those. And then T7 is going to start for us here in the UK. Deliveries on those and orders, etc., late into 2024, and probably the first vehicles I think might be like 2025 when they start to arrive. However, there has been a press release because in Germany they're starting a pre-sales order, so you can actually start getting these orders in Germany, which is great. It's also good for us because it gives us lots of information about the T7, what it's going to look like, etc., and there's some shots of the interior and the exterior of the vehicle. It's still quite camouflaged. If any of you are on Facebook or any of the other social media platforms, you may have already seen there's been some commercials run with shipping containers and vehicles coming out, things like the ID Buzz and Multivan that there as well. So we thought today we'd have a talk about it. So I said this is the successor to the 6.1, to clarify, that's on here. It's not a facelift. It's not something that's just been amended from what it already currently is. It is completely new in that respect. The multivan has its own, that's T7, is going off on one side, and then this, obviously the Transporter and the Caravelle, I think was mentioned in there as a replacement as well. We're going to get into all those type of things, and they're going off on a slightly different route because they're based on the heavier platform. It's worth pointing out, obviously, at the moment we don't know what the UK is going to be bringing in. So this is from being led from the factory. So this is what they're actually going to produce from the vehicle. And obviously the UK market will decide what it wants to take from those different options in there. So obviously panel vans, 100% definitely going to get panel vans that's in there. We definitely need those as a main seller. Combi, I'm sure we will as well. It's been a great seller so far on the Combi. I'm sure that will continue to go through as well. And then obviously they'll have chassis as well that's there. So the new Transporter is 146 millimeters longer than in its current format. So that obviously is going to push it over that 5 meter in length range from there. And there will be a long wheelbase version as well, which I think is going to be about 400 longer, which is what it is in the current format as well. So engine-wise in the vehicle, it's going to be available. It's going to be a wide range of diesel engines. They're going to obviously come still with the vehicle that's in here as well. There is going to be coming a plug-in hybrid version, which is going to be available as well, and the e-Transporter, which is quite big news. So they are 100% doing an electric version of this. I believe there's going to be two different battery sizes, an 83 and a 54 kilowatt. So the 83 kilowatt, slightly more than the Buzz at 77 that's there, but obviously that is going to obviously give the range. It's going to be a slightly heavier vehicle, so I suspect the range probably won't be much too dissimilar to what the Buzz is on there. But obviously those are things for the future. That's what's coming with the range as well. As for pricing, don't have any UK prices at the moment. There's indicative pricing obviously in euros that's there, but you know, that obviously is going to change depending on when they're brought in, and it's very, very early. We're still very early in this process. Obviously the current vehicle as it is, loved by millions of you out there, and sales of these are still what we can get, and what's coming through are very, very good, very strong. Residual values are staying really, really high on these. I expect the T6.1 vehicle to retain very, very much of its resale value, and I think even going on into the middle of this year, later on in this year as well, obviously when production stops, there'll still be vehicles coming through, obviously for a little bit of time on there as well, but I can see demand for these really increasing, even with the new model coming, which is going to be a different vehicle as well. So let's just talk about the dash just for a little bit, because that was quite exciting about this as well. And there's a lot of very similar things when you look at it. So you look at things like the height from on here towards the dashboard on the pictures. We'll show you some pictures that we've got off the website that's in there as well. Steering wheel, very, very similar, very much the same that's on here as well. But the dash layout is very much more multivan stroke ID Buzz setup, with your big screen that's on the side here, and more of a sweeping arch which comes up onto the thing, giving it a completely new modern look to actually in the vehicle as well, and it looks like a lovely place to be that's in there. And I'm sure this will be, again, you know, with all these safety systems and extra things that you've got standard on the vehicle, so you're going to have LED lights, for example, are going to be standard across the range that's there, putting lots and lots of new features into the vehicle when it comes out as well, to give you that driving experience that you're used to, but at the same time as well expanding on that as well. And I think the cab will be one of those areas which it's going to definitely improve from in there. But these vehicles are loved by their drivers because of the driving style, where they actually are. You know, what you can put in the back, a lot of commercials, a lot of vans, they're all very, very similar, but it's about the driver, it's about driving forward. You know, and I've said it but loads of times, I love the position that this particular vehicle gives you, nice and high up, sweeping dash round, and the new one looks just as good, if not better. So just a few of the snapshots that we know from on there that's going to be standard in the cab. So one of the things is electronic parking brake, so no more parking brake that's handbrake, sorry, that's down here. It's going to be electronic, just as it is really on the rest of the range that's on there. I think that'd be great because it'll get rid of the need for this that's out there as well. So people out there that could be looking at campers, for example, that's one less thing to worry about when you're swiveling seats around and things like that. Obviously in the dash side, digital dash is going to be standard across the range. So digital cockpit is going to be 12 inches and then the main screen is going to be 13 inches. And you'll see from the photos we put up now, it's literally just like a little step up. So it's up and then up raised a little bit to give you that thing. So it's like a sweeping dash as it comes around. Very, very exciting. One more feature, it looks like this box here, for example, now it's actually been moved higher. So it looks like it's all in line as it comes across from on here. Obviously we'll have to see what the final product when it comes out, what it actually looks like. And that will probably determine as well, depending on which model it's actually in from the dash combinations. Because as we have at the moment, obviously we have slightly variations between the vans, the commercials, and then obviously moving on to things like the shuttle, for example, on there as well. There's different variations that's on there. And then obviously there's this big question, people keep asking me about this, about the California range. Now, I don't think there will be a California in this setup because as you've all seen the video, we've got the new California based on the Multivan platform, and as far as I'm aware, that is where that is staying. I've heard nothing to indicate that there will be a California version of this 6.1. If anything, I've heard the opposite to confirm that it won't be that's in that. But again, you know, this is all subject to change. You have to see what actually comes into the UK, how it goes with those as well. But I don't think they'll be doing that vehicle at all. Obviously from a conversion perspective, there's lots of you out there who have not gone the California route, you know, and you've had your vehicles converted because you want different things that's in the vehicle. And I'm sure this new vehicle will be a huge hit on that side of it, having those conversions done as well. And things like the extra technology, I think, will make a big difference on the way that they can be converted and what you can have done inside them as well. So the future, obviously, is the future. This is a snippet of what we've said. As I said, if you want to have a look at this, just do a Google search for VW Press, and there's a UK press site, and you can look at the press releases that they've released. And there's a long list on there, and there's pictures and things like that, most of which we've put into today's video to show you about it. Obviously, from the dealer network, I've had people phoning us already saying, oh, what can you tell us about the new T7 Transporter? Pretty much what we can tell you is what is in that press release, and it's what I put in the video today. There's very little other information from on there. We've not had any training or anything like that. That's all going to come into later on this year. And as normal, when we get more information, we'll share it with you and we'll put it out there so you can all learn as we go along about the journey and what's coming and when it's coming into next year. So thanks for watching today's video. As I said, this has been information about the new T7 for here in the UK and for abroad. Obviously there's the pre-order sales which are happening in Germany. That's starting, I think, from something like the 14th of December, so it's already passed because it's a bit later than that now. So they've already started with those as well, which are going from on there. There's nothing for that in the UK at the moment, as I said, and obviously we're going to be expecting those vehicles around towards the end of 2024, and I think the first deliveries will probably be early 2025. That's what I keep getting told. Obviously if that changes, we'll let you know, but obviously this current format, this current one, the 6.1, still going to be in production until May, I think, of 2024. So this is just the first snapshot of this journey that we're going to go through of all next year, pretty much talking about T7, and as always we'll bring you that latest information. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. If you don't subscribe and want to see more content, please hit that subscribe button that's on there as well and the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.